For those of you who may have suffered a similar tremendous loss, which usually is in the form of a death of a loved one, it's important to understand that the people around you have some compassion for them, knowing that this affects them as well, and that they want to connect with you to show support. But these things, there are no words. Words just are not enough, because it's the magnitude of the experience that puts us at a loss for words. And so then what we end up doing, or what people have done, is they will just say what they know, what they've heard. I'm so sorry for your loss. Or they may not say anything, not really knowing, and feel awkward, or they might feel, they might not even bring it up, and if they don't say anything, it feels very unnatural because this big thing just happened. So it's like the classic elephant in the room that nobody's saying anything about. So if you could help them, if you have the emotional capacity to do that, just connect. The important thing is to connect, because that's where the greatest healing will take place. And the connection, and if they reach out, and even if they say, I'm so sorry for your loss, accept it with gratitude, and knowing that maybe that's the only words they knew, but there's a lot more feeling underneath it. People are also sensitive about not wanting to upset you. I know that people have been like that with me, or causing tears. And so I love it when people actually want to, if they knew my husband or daughter and they want to share something. I'm hearing little tidbits all the time. And yes, it's a trigger in a way, but it's a beautiful trigger. There's love, and there might be tears, but only for a minute. And it's such a beautiful thing to know, because people have real experiences with your loved ones that you weren't there. And let them in, let them share that, let them know it's okay to share. It's okay to talk about it. And if they're not comfortable, maybe when some time goes by, you could even bring it up yourself. I think it's really healing to know. I was in the Oberoi, where I've been staying lately, and there's Oberoi shops, and I was looking for something in particular, and a man comes out, and his name is Harry, who, when that whole group was there at the attacks, they all went and they all knew Harry. Very friendly, so helpful. They bought shawls and, all this from him. He loved them, and it was they all connected. And so my daughter would go with everybody, and he said, I was just thinking about your daughter. That very day, that very morning, she was in the shop with somebody, and they bought her a green silk shawl. And she put it on, and there's a space right out in front of the shop, and she was dancing around, and he said, that's the image I'll always have of her dancing around with. I never heard this before. This is 8 years later. I never knew that. What a precious image to have for me. Now, if I'd been afraid to go up to Harry knowing that I would never have known this, or Harry never would have felt comfortable talking to me. He would have said, I don't know what to say to Kia. There she is, there's the mother. Oh my God, I'll pretend to be busy. But no, he was very open, and maybe now because I'm in a more healed state, he sensed it was okay to share that with me. And he even said, I don't want to upset you. I hope that didn't upset you. I said, no, thank you for sharing that. Thank you. Wow. What a gift. That was so wonderful. So all of those things help me. And these are all things that happen over time. And that's why it is good to sit with people and just be and allow space, because then what comes out will come out on its own. Everybody starts to relax, and once the connection is there, allow the connection. And that's when that's when a miracle happens. The miracle is simply something that, a gift it changes our perspective in some way. and it brings an array of light, and it's love. Anything that shifts us to love and gratitude, to me, is a miracle. And that happens with sharing and connection. I never realized the importance of such things before. I took it for granted, which maybe we all do. We just go about, and I never really thought about such things in that way. How important it is, and how important it is to make time for such things, to allow those kinds of sharings and conversations to happen on their own. When there's no agenda, and if you can just be. And the best thing for a person, for you to do, if you have a friend who is in this situation, whatever the loss, because there are many losses. It could be a death, it could also be a divorce, it could be a major shift in material life, your financial situation or your living situation, many things, an illness, any things, but is to be present, just to be with the person, knowing that's enough. For me, words aren't necessary, but it is enough to sit with people and just enjoy their company. And then whatever comes out will come out. Whatever sharing. And it could start by chatting about the weather. It doesn't really matter. And that'll start the connection. And then other things begin to be shared, because trust builds up. Trusting in the process. But being present with someone, and just, if you know of someone who lost, go visit them, sit with them. If they don't feel like talking, fine, just be with them, have tea, hold their hand. All you need to do is say, I'm with you, I'm thinking of you, I love you, and I loved whoever, I'm here for you. And just keep telling them over and over, I'm here for you, you're not alone. And I'm going to call you and invite you for lunch, and I hope that you'll come. And just keep it up, don't give up, make the call. And if you're on the receiving end, I would say allow it to respond and let yourself go and get out. Even when you don't feel like it sometimes. Because you'll still come back to your room and you'll be alone. It won't be the same. So when you have a chance to get out and connect.